This week,
APLAC puts on a film festival.
we tear down the musical set with Drama Club,
We crown the newest Mr. McHenry.
and we bust some brackets during March Madness.
All that and more
On
the Warrior Weekly.
Good morning, Warriors, and welcome to this week's edition of the Warrior Weekly, presented by Warrior Student Media. I'm Layla Moreno.
And I'm Cooper Bruin. Today we finished March Madness brackets, crown Mr. McHenry, and we tear down the musical set.
But first, our APLAC students share their documentaries with each other and the rest of the school.
The 15th Annual Film Festival for AP Language and Composition students was held Friday, March 25th in the Warrior Room. Students were able to view their peers' documentaries and ask questions, along with presenting their own films.
So this is the 15th annual film festival, although we did not have one last year. But each student group is given a 10 to 15 minute time slot, and then they get up, they kind of introduce their film, they present the film, and then afterwards they answer questions about it.
These students started the beginning of the semester by choosing a topic they are passionate about and writing a synthesis essay with their group mates. They then took all of their research they have conducted and turned it into a self-made documentary.
So it's a major project for the students. It pairs along with the paper that they're doing, and so for the documentary they pick a topic of their choosing, and then they have to create an argument, and then they have to do research, they have to do their own field research, they have to conduct interviews, and they have to integrate all of those things in a documentary, in a film.
Mr. Kim and Ms. Dunn shared how watching what the students have created and being able to give the students the opportunity to see their classmates' work is the most exciting part of the festival for them.
I like seeing other kids seeing the work that other students have done and learning a little bit about what they researched in this kind of more relaxed, fun way instead of doing a class presentation.
Just being able to see all the hard work that the students put into it and seeing the final product on screen is really cool. Be able to see what all the creative things that they do with the documentaries.
The biggest takeaway Kim and Dunn want their students to have is to take ownership of their films, know how to do a good research project, and present it in a fun and exciting way.
I want them to be engaged with the topic, and it's more engaging than a paper. With a paper, students are just used to writing papers, but with this, they get to take a little more ownership.
I guess I want them to understand all the components that make a good research project, like primary research, secondary research, and then how to present it to people in a way that's interesting for them.
After viewing all 25 documentaries, students voted for 4 different awards: Best Film, Most Entertaining, Most Informational, and Most Creative. These awards will be announced at the APLAC Awards ceremony in May. Reporting for the Warrior Weekly, we are Cooper Bruin, Caden Bunting, and Ryan Stamborski.
Now an emotional teardown with the cast and crew took place from the school's musical, the 25th Annual Putnam County Spelling Bee. Warrior Student Media has the story.
Students from the freshman upper campus spent months preparing for the production of MCHS's latest musical, the 25th Annual Putnam County Spelling Bee. As the musical strike begins, the sentimental value of saying goodbye to this production leaves the cast and crew feeling bittersweet.
The strike is taking down the set, and the set is the whole show. It's something that we grew very attached to over the weeks and months we've worked on the musical. I think my favorite memory from the production is how close all of the members got, especially the cast. Most of the cast was sophomores, but we had a freshman, a junior, and a senior, and it was really fun getting to know all of them.
The cast and crew created a strong bond with one another throughout their time spent on the musical and shared an emotional goodbye to their production with a memorial video and poster signings. With the poster signings, cast and crew can reflect on the memory of who they had the honor of working with and the opportunities the show has brought them during their 2022 year. The senior cast and crew members upheld the tradition of painting their names backstage as a senior send-off and leave the memory of their accomplishments made while at MCHS.
During strike, the seniors, during strike for the musical, the seniors all get to sign their names in the back room of it. And we all kind of it's a running thing throughout your high school. Oh, career where you're like, oh, where are you going to sign your name? Where are you going to sign your name? And up until like that day, I didn't know where I was going to. And then all of us like kind of were like, oh, I'm going to go here. I'm going to go here. And then I picked my spot. And then everybody else was like, oh, we should all sign together. Because my like the seniors graduating right now, we're all really close. So we all decided to sign our names together. And then we cried in the back. And it was really cute.
As the 25th annual Putnam County Spelling Bee comes to a close, we hope the seniors have a wonderful time post-production and are excited to see what they do in the future. Even though saying goodbye to this production is bittersweet, we are eager to see what the cast and crew plans to do with next year's musical. Reporting for the Warrior Weekly were Lacey Thompson, Lauren Curtin, Grace Mueller, and Emberlyn Carlson.
Next, Mr. McHenry has made a comeback. Let's see who gets crowned as this year's Mr. McHenry.
On Thursday, March 24th, the NHS team held MCHS's Mr. McHenry event in the Upper Campus Auditorium and crowned their very own Mr. McHenry 2022. The president of NHS, Avery Schramm, explains what part of the event she was most excited for.
I'm excited for the talent portion because that was like the guys, they get to do whatever they want. It's like their time. So they had a lot of creative freedom, which I was nervous about to let them just like free for all, but it turned out really great. They are very creative and came up with some interesting things, so I'm very excited to see it like fully done because I've only seen like sections of it so far.
All night, the contestants kept the crowd entertained, though the talent portion of the show was what really had the crowd impressed. Watch as we take a look at some highlights from the participants' real skills.
In other words, baby kiss me.
Teachers and administrators, counselors and custodians, equally necessary and equally valuable. The respect you show to us all, always inclusion, never exclusion.
While this event was full of many surprises throughout the night, the judges came to a decision and crowned Enrique Robles with the title of being MCHS's 2022 Mr. McHenry. After being crowned, Enrique stays humble and gives a second-hand opinion on his opponents and how well they did as well.
They were like amazing. Honestly, they're probably better than mine. I'm going to be honest. Hunter, great shout out to him. His dance is phenomenal. Lucas's recorders. Brody's little act, I didn't really see it because I was scrambling in the back trying to get ready for it, and Shane's poetry was amazing.
Second place was awarded to Shane Spattle, and Brody Howland took third place as well as crowd favorite. And special shout out to the hosts, Rayanna Med and Joe Hissam, for making this event their very own and keeping the crowd entertained. The event was a success, and we're excited to see what next year's Mr. McHenry contestants bring to the stage. Reporting for the Warrior Weekly were Maddie Spencer, Noah Johnson, Ruth Luceno, and Danny Carr.
Finally, March Madness ended last night with the University of Kansas taking on the University of North Carolina. McHenry students and staff won big with their picks, while some failed miserably.
Every March, 68 teams compete in one of the biggest sporting events of the year, March Madness. The NCAA tournament draws in tons of viewers every year, including some of McHenry's own students and staff. Here's what Mr. Friend says what he thinks makes March Madness so special.
Probably because there's like games on every 10 minutes, right? It's crazy. 15 seeds beating 2 seeds, games on 32 games a day, 16 games a day, whatever it is. But there's a lot of chaos, and I think that's the best part.
This year's March Madness has been electric so far. With buzzer beaters galore and underdog teams shocking the nation, there have been many memorable moments for students.
All the upsets and the buzzer beaters are really exciting. So seeing all the underdog teams win.
A big reason for the hype that March Madness carries is creating a bracket. This gives people a chance to participate and earn money and other rewards for creating the perfect bracket. Some put in a lot of time and effort, while others just make lucky guesses.
Too much time and effort, but I only pick one. So I try to keep mine the same throughout so that if I, do something for fun with my friends, like it's the same and I don't have to root against different teams each time, but a lot of time goes into getting all those picks wrong, usually.
Make about 5 brackets every year, so a lot, but I don't really look at statistics. I just pick all the underdogs and see if I can win some money.
Although March Madness has come to a close, it was a wonderful finish to a great college basketball season. And even though no one got a perfect bracket, it was fun to watch. Reporting for the Warrior Weekly were Dylan Machashik, Nate Gibson, and Kat Calabrese.
That's all for today's show. Be sure to follow the Warrior Weekly on all social media platforms, including Twitter, Insta, and TikTok.
For Cooper Tenverin and all of Warrior Student Media, I'm Layla Marino. Have a great week, Warriors.